What's up, New York? How we doing? How we doing, New York? Let's hear you. Woo! It feels great to be here. It's always been a dream of mine to fight at the Garden, and I'd be lying if I said this fight didn't just feel different. It's a very special thing. New York has some of the best fans in the world, and I'm glad to be able to give you guys what you want to see. You know, I feel like Stipe has this. You know, everyone likes first responders. You know, and I actually respect men and women in the armed forces and law enforcement, things like that. And so I made it a point to try to be very respectful to him. And there's been two scenarios now. First scenario, he said, my kids will never look at me like I'm an asshole. That was a direct attack to me and my family and my relationship with my kids. Second attack was him calling me a bitch. So the respect is a little bit out the window, and we'll see that on Saturday. It's very personal to me, yes.
For you, Stipe, are you kind of surprised to hear his reaction to that? And do you even feel like you want to apologize for some of those things you said?
I mean, yeah, I don't remember saying when my kids look. I don't remember saying that when my kids look at me like an asshole. That was no direct thing to him, and that when I said bring it on, bitch, it was pretty much he was calling me out and telling me he beat my ass in front of a whole arena of people. So sorry for defending myself. I apologize.
There were a lot of complaints about. We originally created these gloves to stop eye pokes, and you know we had good intentions with them. They didn't work out. People weren't happy with them, so I actually made the decision. Called our Chief Operating Officer Lawrence and said, "I'm switching the gloves. I want new the old gloves back." So, yes.
And last one from me.
The new gloves are now the old gloves. The winner should absolutely fight Tom.
I absolutely love it, man. I love challenges. I love climbing a big hill. I have shed blood in Madison Garden twice. I will draw blood in Madison Square Garden for a third time on Saturday night. Big title implications against a guy who's already beat me, shattered my dreams of becoming lightweight champion. And on Saturday night, I submit myself as the #1 contender, and my next fight will be for the belt. Charles is beloved. Hey, listen, if you don't love Charles Oliveira, you're not a mixed martial arts fan. So give it to him. Hey, so I fully expect it. I just saw Charles in the back. It's all respect. If you don't love Charles Oliveira, you can kick rocks. We're showing up on Saturday night. We're going to blow off the freaking roof off of Madison Square Garden, and you guys are going to love it. Almost does not count in this sport, and that's why we all absolutely love it. It doesn't matter how close you get unless you get the ref pulling you off inside the octagon. The fight is not over. Charles came back. He proved not only to himself but to the entire world that he is a top contender. He was a champion for a reason, and he was a champion for a while. Now it's my turn. It's my time to avenge a loss, and on Saturday night, we do it.
Boa noite, boa noite. Eu tava esperando tudo isso aqui. Eu amo vocês. Isso aqui é um sonho que eu tô vivendo. Eu sonhei em ser conhecido, eu sonhei em ser respeitado. E hoje eu tô vivendo um sonho. Eu sou muito grato por tudo isso que vem acontecendo na minha vida. Vocês são foda. Olha, de verdade, eu respeito demais esse cara. Ele é um cara gigante, um cara família. Vai ser uma grande luta, vai ser uma guerra. Mas eu tô pronto pra isso. Eu não ligo de tirar sangue. Vocês sabem a minha escola, chutebox, sangue a gente tira todos os dias. Eu tô pronto pra guerra.
I did a really long press conference yesterday, and I feel like I really broke it down for everybody, exactly how I felt. So tonight, it's all about Stipe. You know, it's been amazing, you know, having guys like Anderson, Spider Silva to look up to. There's a lot of guys. There's Uriah Faber. I have a long list of guys that I've always admired. George St. Pierre. These guys were great examples to me in many different ways. You know, some for their fighting skills, some for the way they transcended the sport. And I'm grateful to be in this position now. I'm very aware that I've impacted many people's lives around the world. And it's just, it's a huge honor, and it's a true pleasure to be in this position. Truly blessed.
Charles Oliveira, vamos lá. Você constantemente fala sobre legado e cinturão. Por que é tão importante para você ter o cinturão se você já tem um legado construído? Olha só, está do outro lado do mundo, milhares de fãs torcendo por você. De onde vem essa motivação e por que o cinturão é tão importante?
Olha, a gente tem que estar aqui por algo. Eu tô aqui pela história, pelo legado, eu preciso tornar campeão. Há um mês atrás, meu filho nasceu e eu prometi para ele mesmo. Eu vou ser campeão mais uma vez. Da mesma forma que eu fui campeão da minha filha, eu vou ser campeão do meu filho. Olha, eu não sei quando. A gente não tem, é tudo no tempo de Deus. Mas eu vou estar aqui para fazer história. Olha, não é um clique, eu tinha que fazer algo. pra poder, sabe, dar tudo de bom pra minha filha. E foi isso que eu fiz, o que eu sei fazer de melhor. Eu sei lutar. Eu não sou esses caras que ficam falando um monte. Eu simplesmente, quando fecho o cage, eu vou lá e faço acontecer. É isso que eu vou fazer de novo. Eu vou dar a volta por cima, eu vou se tornar campeão mais uma vez. Eu vou deixar o meu legado cada vez maior e eu preciso da ajuda de todos vocês. Essa energia positiva é isso que faz acontecer. Olha, de verdade, se esses caras acham que eles estão prontos para pagar o preço, eu tô 10 vezes maior. Eu nasci para isso. Eu vou fazer história mais uma vez.
I'm really grateful. I'm really grateful for the compliment. I've been here for a long time. I've beat generations of fighters, and I believe Dana knows what he's talking about. So I'm grateful for it, and I try to live up to it with every performance.
I'm not really thinking about 170 right now. Unfortunately, I'm under 170 as we speak. So Saturday night, we fight at 155. We cement ourselves as the #1 contender, and I win that belt in 2025. There's a lot of fun matchups up there. I'm a big lightweight. I enjoyed the camp for 170, but right now we're focused on 155 and that 155 lightweight title.
Saturday night, realistically, could be the last dance. So with that in question, and it is the last time that we see you inside the UFC octagon, how do you want these good people to remember your time in the UFC?
That's a great question. Thanks for asking it. I want to be remembered as a guy who came, saw, and conquered. Simple as that. Thank you.
I've got absolutely no message for Conor McGregor. I'm 100% focused on Charles Oliveira. Conor McGregor can't get his house in order long enough to figure out how to string together a training camp to show up to the UFC octagon and do what guys like I and Charles Oliveira do multiple times a year. So he can enjoy it from wherever he's enjoying it from. We'll keep the octagon warm while he's out.
Do you ever want to bury the hatchet with DC?
Yeah, I love to bury the hatchet with DC. You know, literally every time I see him, I try to give him a smile. I try to give him a handshake. And I don't think I just recently found out he doesn't like that very much. So I think I'll just give him a little friendly wave from a distance from now on. That's all over for me a long time ago. I'm sure there's a lot of guys, a lot of former opponents that really don't like me, and that's a part of doing what I do.
Listen, it is my belief that as long as this guy is active, he's the best. He's the pound-for-pound best in the world, and he's the greatest of all time.
Thank you.
Not only Gable and not only Gordon and all these guys, but shout out to both of those guys, by the way, two of America's finest athletes. But I mean, I got guys who's been with me for years who's helped me get to this point. I got a really solid squad of guys, and our team was pretty damn close to perfect before adding these two great additions. And now a perfect team just became that much better. I'm definitely prepared to have a great ground fight this Saturday night, for sure.